Welcome back. Of course, we are live. You're locked into your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, it's Tuesday, and we're choosing to spend it with you. Now, we're pleased to be joined by two scientists. One of them is South African, behind the first Covid-19 vaccine currently being developed in Africa called the Shantivax. Now, it's Kamsilan Chetty, and he's the CEO of the immunotherapy company called GenLab in Mberga. And he's partnered with a Danish biotechnology company called Immunitrack. Now, it's led by Stefan Thorgrimsson, and he is the man who's here to make this happen. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This really does give us hope. It makes us excited. And maybe I'll start with you, Kamsilan. Shantivax, that is the name. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. The first COVID-19 vaccine currently being developed in Africa by Africans. It is big. How much of a game changer is this for us?
I think it's a huge game changer. You know, we've had this problem where, you know, a lot of the clinical trials that you're seeing being developed here by larger companies, the South African public's not happy. We often see a lot of the clinical trials that are happening here are being done by external organizations or governments. And, you know, when it got approved, but when it came time to get the vaccine, you know, we were the last in the list. And I don't think people were kind of happy about that. This is not the case with Shantivax. That's the first thing I can say. And the second thing I can say is, you know, there's issues with licensing and technology transfer into South Africa as well. And, you know, this is with us. The third thing is that, you know, it's just Stefan and I, which is great. And we don't have anybody else telling us to rush things or compromise our ethics in any way. So I think those three items are crucial. Very big game changers.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think especially with all the questions around the vaccine, it really is refreshing to see, and it sounds like someone's out there that's actually there to help us, the people. So I really thank you for that. But Stefan, I've got to ask you, how is Shantivax different to the current vaccines that are actually out there at the moment?
Yeah, so as you know, most vaccines which are being developed right now are designed to raise antibodies against the spike protein. And that's only one of the proteins of corona. And the problem, as you see right now with the different variants, is that many of these vaccines have lost efficacy. And that's already actually known from the influenza vaccines, where you also tend to use the surface protein called hemagglutinin. And here, you need to redesign the vaccine every year because the vaccine isn't effective the year after. So this is pretty much the same situation. So if we look at the vaccine we are designing, it's actually designed not only to stimulate a B-cell response, but also a T-cell response, which has been shown to be very important. And not only that, but it's actually focusing on multiple proteins in COVID-19. So the S, M, N, and E proteins, which are on the surface. So our company, Immunitrack, has really focused on finding the best T-cell epitopes to include in the vaccine. So that's since the beginning of the pandemic. And then on top of that, this vaccine is a nano-engineered lab-attenuated bacteria that is designed to actually localize in the lungs, and that's where the virus tries to penetrate and infect people. So we're actually localizing the vaccine where things happen. So this is pretty much how it works.
I guess the next question then is, how efficient will the Shantivax vaccine be in combating emerging variants, Kamsilan?
Okay, well, I'd like to, you know, there was, and one of the reasons it's fortuitous that we've come, we've sort of come to light right now. You know, in January, there were two major studies published in the US, in Johns Hopkins University and the Journal of Clinical Investigation. And there's another article that I'm being made aware of and that the US has been made of. The first thing that we can say is that the role of T cells are now indisputable. You're going to need a T cell response in your vaccine. The second thing that has come out in a different study is that T cells are effective against combating the variant, which is very, very refreshing. They've tested 3 different variants and they got really good T cell responses all around. They got antibodies and T cells, but the T cells were really, really effective.
Wow, it sounds like this is actually a really, really exciting vaccine. It sounds like it's a little bit different. It's got the extra bells and whistles, which is kind of combating not only the source, but the effects as well.
Yeah.
So, Stefan, I've got to ask you, you guys are obviously in the preclinical stage. So, I mean, it sounds really exciting. So my next question is, how long before these can actually reach human trials and till we can potentially get one?
Yeah, so as you know, we are right now in the preclinical stage, so we actually need to make sure that this vaccine is safe and doing its job, and that's being done in preclinical. And once we're absolutely sure that the vaccine is safe to be used in humans, we will do that. And we're expecting that to take place in around 10 months' time from now.
Kamselin, and then can we expect for this vaccine to become available to the public should everything go well?
Of course. You know, we're scientists, we're not business people, so of course, you know, that's, who else would it be for? You know, we want the people to be helpful. We want them to be confident that this is going to work. We want them to have lesser doses so that, you know, they can feel safe and that they know that this thing's got a long-acting effect. And we've managed to get all of these criteria and put it together. I think ultimately, you know, we want the pandemic as a whole to end. And, you know, there's been reports from the US advisory that, you know, the current vaccines are going to work, but some of the vaccines are going to work. But, you know, we're looking at something that's going to end the pandemic. And that's the game.
That is the game indeed, and you gents have breathed a fresh bit of hope into the studio this morning. I can't thank you enough for joining us, guys, and for the concerted effort and work you are doing to save Mzansi and the rest of the world.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that, and thank you for supporting us. So wish us luck. Wish us luck, I think.
Yes, please.
Sending you all the love and all the positivity coming your way.
Well, that was obviously Kamselin Shetty. He's the CEO of immunotherapy company, which is called GenLab in Mobega. And they've partnered with Danish biotech company Immunitrack to create the first COVID-19 vaccine by an African. Is that not exciting indeed, Jamie?
Yes, it is so exciting. Now we'll be awaiting eagerly for the latest news in developments.